Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I have all these numbers in my head. I do have a little bit of a cheat card, but not much. The U.S. debt is exploding. Remember, on June the 3rd, they passed, Republicans, Democrats passed the ability to get rid of the debt ceiling. So there is officially no debt ceiling. They don't have a debt ceiling until January 1st of 2025. So basically, the government has the blank check that you are responsible for. 9 days ago, I mentioned the debt and gave you some numbers, and then 6 days. Let's go back 6 days. 6 days, the debt was about 32 trillion, 111 billion. And then we had 6 days go by, and which wasn't bad. We only went up like $11 billion, almost $2 billion a day. I was like, that's awesome. No big deal. Then, yesterday, I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning and look at the numbers. It's 32 trillion, 204. So we went, while you slept, from 122 billion to 204 billion. That was this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Fast forward from this breakfast time to supper time. I just looked at the numbers. 32 trillion, 270 billion. Unbelievable. Now remember, I think the debt limit was like $31.4 trillion, June 3rd. It's not even July, it's still June. They are almost, they're at 32.270. And they started at 31.4. So realistically, in the next few days, if they don't control spending, if we get one more jump, big jump, we will have spent in the red an additional $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Some of you are probably, Dave, I'm getting sick of you talking about these numbers. I'm trying to motivate you. I'm trying to tell you how important it is. You know, we look at Russia, we look at Ukraine, we look at World War III. Yes, that could happen. But I will assure you this, we will crash financially because we're based on fiat. They have to keep printing. Printing the money is like the oil in our system. If you quit printing money, the engine we call our economy will seize up and it will be over. So I'm eager to see if we're going to go $1 trillion in the hole in a month. I looked at the numbers this morning and they finally went over. I've been watching one number in particular. That was the amount of your debt you're responsible for as a single taxpayer. It just went over $250,000. So every taxpayer, their share technically, would be $250,000. So if you're married and you both work outside the home, you are $500,000 in debt. And what has it gotten you? I have no idea. I know it's gotten us broke. I know it's gotten us where people are living in the streets in tents. I know people are hungry. So, I hope I'm not, making you mad that I'm giving you this. I'm trying to pound it down your throat because I am. That's how vital it is to get ready. Now, some of you are saying, Dave, I can't get ready. I'm stone cold broke. I'm just trying to pay the bills, trying to feed myself for this day. I can't think a month, a year down the road. I understand that. If you are able, if you are financially been blessed, have a little bit extra, start thinking long term. What are we going to do with these people that are starving to death if the system crashes? Yeah, I'm not saying it's your responsibility to feed them, but you know what? If every prepper that can do it can help one or two people, and it doesn't have to be a lot. A lot of it's just pre-planning, just thinking, saying, okay, I got an extra water filter, I can give that to my neighbor. Or you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I can pump water out of the ground all day long. Or I can hit the switch and solar, the sun will bring pure, clean drinking water out of the earth. I've already figured out how many neighbors I have around me that might need that water every day, might need a 5-gallon container delivered. I know other people that have simple pumps that are hooked up to solar. I know who they are. Between a few of us, We could supply people with clean drinking water. Is it my responsibility to give them, though? It's not. We could go into the aspect of if you're a Christian and someone's thirsty, you can give them water. If someone's hungry, you try to feed them. So, a lot of bad news. Today, I've been running around doing some things, buying some things, trying to convert Federal Reserve notes into something practical. Whatever you can do, do it. I don't have a crystal ball. A year from now, we might be looking back and seeing huge numbers on the deficit. But it's like this. They got this balloon, and they're blowing into the balloon. They've decided, we don't need to go and blow into the balloon. It's just getting bigger and bigger. Let's go get a 220 air compressor and put that nozzle in there and just crank it. And that's what's happening. One day, that balloon's going to pop. There's going to be no warning. It's just going to poof. And your life is going to be changed. You could dwell on that as negative, negative, negative. Or you could say, you know what? That could happen. What can I do now to position myself, to take care of myself? To take care if I have children or adult children with grandsons and granddaughters. You only can do what you can do. Look at California. People living in RVs, people living on the streets, people living in tents. It's only going to get worse in those liberal areas just because of their policies. Productive people are moving out. I talk to them all the time. They're getting out. Chicago, getting out of New York State, getting out of New Jersey, getting out of California. Why? They're tired of taking their hard-earned money and having it squandered. So, I hope you're not getting tired of these motivational speeches to show you that the dollar is going to collapse. I'm also trying to stress to you that both Republicans and Democrats are causing the problem. There's only a few people that are hollering. When the election comes this year, I have to really seriously think of what I'm going to do. Am I going to vote and give my consent to whoever wins? I'm going to think about that. That's a personal matter that I have to figure out. I'm tired of consenting to these groups of men and women that have destroyed our country. I don't see an easy way out. I see no way out unless it's divine intervention. But then if you look at the math, if you look at the trillions we owe, if you look at the unfunded liability, I think it's over now. If you go to that site, I'll put the link again to the debt clock. I think we're over $100 trillion of unfunded debt. That means stuff that we've promised people inside the United States, they're going to get a benefit, but we have not put any of that money back. All that's going to come due. Doom and gloom. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that what could happen. Then plan and pray, prepare. You're only going to be able to do what you can do. Probably can't see it, but there's a fence. There's a fence around this whole big property right here. I'm worried right now about my fence. What can I control inside my fence? Then I got to control what can I help or control outside of it. People I can see, my neighbors. Am I going to be there for them? Or am I just going to say, you didn't prep, you didn't prepare. You're on your own, sucker. Because it is my problem. A hungry neighbor is your problem. You're going to have to deal with it one way or the other. It could be in the middle of the night when they're trying to steal my chickens. Or I could start thinking now and planning. I live in the country. My chances of survival in my area, not far from here, Trump is going to be here in 2 days. Why did he pick here? I don't know. Very small town. But this area carried Trump 75%. Very conservative area. Very, very conservative. I have a great chance of surviving an SHTF or a Raw event compared to someone in Chicago, someone in Charlotte, someone in a subdivision that has a ton of people that don't even know each other. please don't get discouraged. I wish I could help more people. I can't. And it's very frustrating for me. People give me their burdens, and I can say I can pray for you. That's all I can do. But I'm praying to a God that controls everything. The debt is out of control. Politicians on both sides are out of control. When are we going to tell them, you do not have our consent to govern us anymore? You do not have our best interests at heart. And we were withdrawing our consent. You are nothing to us. One day that's going to have to happen. They will never leave power. These evil, evil politicians that do not have our best interests in heart. They're serving a master. They're serving the person that is deceiving the whole world. I don't have the answers, but I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to tell you, hey, these figures I'm showing you, they matter. Keep prepping. Thanks for watching.